Alright, this is the Japanese University here. Let's make this real easy, real quick, and real simple for you to see really quick right here so that you don't have to go through the trouble. So, let me explain this here. This is part of the National Security and National Defense Protocols here. I can't move it. It's part of the National Security and National Defense Protocols here. And notice how it says here KDS2 concealed remote location legal system hijacking. Well, what is a concealed remote location legal system hijacking? A concealed remote location legal system hijacking. The long-term or sequential coordinated writing of illegal or corrupt laws and protocols into the legal system past legal detection, especially on an alias or ordinance or individuals. Now, why do I have to point this out here? Sir, if he slams curves like that, there's clearly no accuracy in it. Why do I have to point that out? Because it's really obvious why you have to point this out. Let's go to the cades. I'm gonna go left. Don't go right. Okay, this is CADE S2 PCDS Pre-Criminal Database Systems Illegal Clarification. Electronic or network or semiconductor chip or otherwise ordinances and computers or devices which perform pre-criminal database categorization without legally filing. Legally filing. Notice it says legally filing of its legal existence. So notice how it's illegal is because it was never legally filed. The other person is never legally notified, making it illegal. Legally filing of its legal existence. Their legal systems of all territories the ordinances reach to are illegal. Bottom line, period. Let's go down. Stealth criminal convictions. What is this? Stealth criminal conviction. What's that? Are illegal. And suspect-based systems are illegal when not legally filed within the legal systems of all territories that are performed or executed within. Sir, but you can't just run up to a Japanese university for unopened Japanese textbooks. Well, Watashi wa tensai cannot launch false accusations repeatedly against another personnel without submitting your declaration of intellectual warfare within the legal system. Intellectual warfare, what's that? It literally says warfare. You then submit your declaration of intellectual warfare within the legal system. And then you repeatedly launch false accusations that is illegal. Sorry to tell you that. Sorry to tell you that. Sir, stop. Let's go over here. Alright, so this is another CADE here. There's nothing on this sheet of paper. But there is the title. CADE Systematic or Synthetic Presidential Election. AC. A sequence of chain events and broadcast where a personnel stands in faith for the population of the United States of America, clarifies security breaches and intellectual security breaches without declaring and announcing to the civilians the security breaches. A sequence or chain of events and broadcasts where personnel stands in face for the population of the United States of America, clarifies security breaches and intellectual security breaches without declaring and announcing to the civilians the security breaches. They proceed to stand in place for the population of the United States of America, performing a mathematical or scientific systematic elimination of civilians without telling them there being genocide did genocided. They received a standard place for the population of the United States of America before a mathematical or scientific systematic elimination of civilians without telling them they're being genocided. They falsely word the actions as legal or lawful. It would mostly target individuals under the age of 18 whom cannot act for themselves within enclosed quarters, which was previously notified within previous subsequent K covers all information diagram documents, which was actually legally filed. Notice how he says it's actually legally filed along with the MAUL, the mall, the K to the mall, memory allocation unit layout. Now, it says actually legally filed. That's the problem for you people. Actually legally filed along with the mall memory location unit layout. In case you didn't notice, it was legally filed. They ran off. They saw my color likely, or they saw that I was studying Japanese. They just ran off, right? Okay. Against the DLPA, Deceptive Labeling Prevention Act, they not only falsely label a Japanese university as a juror and pig mark him every 60 subsequent days for further harassment after surpassing 730 days worth of harassment. He says against the DLPA, Deceptive Labeling Prevention Act, they not only falsely labeled a Japanese university as a juror and pig marked him every 60 subsequent days for further harassment after surpassing 730 days with harassment. He was only allotted. As I spell that word, he was only allowed around 270 days worth of uninterrupted Japanese study within a perfect 1,000 plus day Japanese streak. They've also illegally, is that how you spell that? They have also illegally broadcast the presidential debate to the Japanese university's device, despite the Japanese university having no ties with either presidential candidate or their affected or influenced populations. They've also illegally broadcast the presidential debate to Japanese University device, despite the Japanese University having no ties to either presidential candidate or their affected or influenced populations. The Japanese University noticed instance procedures, data policy, and statements within that work against the BLP against against Trump and statements about computer chips, not semiconductor chip. And those statements about computer chips, not semiconductor chips, from Joe Biden. What's the middle name? I don't remember. The Japanese university knows methods, procedures, data policy, statements that were against the Deceptive Labeling Prevention Act against Donald J. Trump, and statements about computer chips, not semiconductor chips, from Joe Biden, as well as the mentioning of machines for detection of unknown or unwanted substances from Joe Biden as well. Now, in case you didn't notice this here, it's all says on the same document. In case you didn't notice this here, sir, oh no, what? What? It says you're the one that broadcast it, and then he says he knows the broadcast itself in its nature violated and repeatedly knowingly trespassed over 3 times the relevant K maximum security national defense protocols and Title 55 intellectual security breach. No individual without the proper clearance levels for the associated categories are permitted to broadcast information or data or make contact with those above their clearance level within that respective category as previously mentioned within the case. It says no individual without proper clearance levels for the associated categories are permitted to broadcast information data or make contact with those above their clearance level in that respective category as previously mentioned within the case. Individuals whom have trespassed the $730,010 legal charges for damages against the Japanese university have a clearance level of 0 for all 4 categories and need to check into the governmental establishment or relevant militia forces to clear it. Further trespasses will cause your presence to be submitted towards the Allegiance Certification Act of 2024 from the Japanese University. It then says further trespasses will cause your presence to be submitted to a Allegiance Certification Act of 2024 from the Japanese University. Alright? So, look at this. All polls for the presidential election are dated And timestamp. Well, this one's just stated. It's not quite timestamp because it's a document. A document doesn't need a timestamp because it's in risk of triangulation if you timestamp it as well. So it's just date stamped. So look, Kate, systematic or synthetic presidential election, 8/8/2024. A sequence or chain of events and broadcasts where a personnel stands in face for the population of the United States of America, clarifies security breaches and intellectual security breaches without declaring announcements to the civilians the security breaches. They proceed to stand in place for the population of the United States of America, performing a mathematical or scientific systematic elimination of civilians without telling them they're being genocided. The clogging out of your acts, movements, scheduling, and the educational establishments, the legal and law systems, etc. They falsely word the actions as legal or lawful. It would most likely target individuals under the age of 18 who cannot act for themselves within closed quarters, which was previously notified within previous subsequent CADE comes out information diagram documents, which was actually legally filed along with the mall member location unit layout. Against the DLPA, Deceptive Labeling Prevention Act, they not only falsely labeled a Japanese university as a juror and pig-marked him every 60 subsequent days for further harassment. After surpassing 730 days worth of harassment, meaning he was only allowed around 270 days worth of uninterrupted Japanese study within a perfect 1,000 plus day Japanese streak. They've also illegally broadcast the presidential debate to the Japanese university's device, despite the Japanese university having no ties with either presidential candidate or their affected or influenced populations. The Japanese university noticed methods, procedure, data policy, and statements within that were against the DLPA, Deceptive Labeling Prevention Act, against Donald J. Trump, and statements about computer chips, not semiconductor chips, from Joe Biden, as well as the mentioning of machines for detection of unknown or unwanted substances from Joe Biden as well. The broadcast itself and its nature violated and repeatedly knowingly trespassed over 3 times the relevant CADE National Security National Defense Protocols and Title 55 Intellectual Security Breach. No individual without the proper clearance levels for the associated categories are permitted to broadcast information or data or make contact with those above their clearance level within that respective category as previously mentioned within the CADE. Individuals who have trespassed the $730,010 legal charges for damages against a Japanese university have a clearance level of 0 for all 4 categories and need to check into governmental establishments or relevant militia forces to clear it. Further trespasses will cause your presence to be submitted towards the Allegiance Certification Act of 2024 from the Japanese university. Hi! What? Watch out for the masters of education. Wow, that's the day where they appear once every like what? You know how long? And then they just start doing something amazing, having you run around like this is amazing, right? Like the legendary favorite appearance after such a long time. You know, it's a Jap personnel just after such a long. He's totally like silent or something, right? He makes this favorite appearance after how many days? He was already there teaching y'all Japanese, giving y'all proper Japanese education. Wafuji Zohan, the masters of education, is already there. And guess what they have to tell me? Looks like it works. How many measures to generate? 14? Sir, it don't work. You know, you can say something. You know, if they say something that's not true, they force it down and they make it true themselves. That's the problem. They harm people. That's the problem. That's why you had that document there. Sir, that'll work. I wonder. So, are you questioning the master's education? No, I'm not questioning you. Okay, thank you.